Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to Girls High School Softball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. As you know, we're coming to you live from our Barberry Law Studios built by Konwinski Construction. And here we are at the newly Konwinski Construction built at McIntyre Field, the home of Mount Pleasant Oilers softball. And what a beautiful venue this has turned into. And last year I had quite the good vantage point. I was kind of up top down the third baseline above the dugout for the girls here on the home side, but it was a little dusty up there, and so looked at the weather. Looks like the rain should hold off. We are outside today just on the right side of the press box, and it is absolutely beautiful. Almost a little too warm for this guy, but I feel kind of dumb saying that. What are you saying it's too warm? It is beautiful out. It's 70 degrees. It's a little humid, but we are ready for softball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. So Mount Pleasant Oilers girls take out the Bay City Central Lady Wolves, and this game, I think, go back a while, was originally scheduled for yesterday and would have been a great day for it yesterday as well, talking with Coach John Davis and the girls yesterday, also talking with Mr. McIntyre, athletic director here at Mount Pleasant High School. Is kind of, well, what do you think about this game getting in today? And the whole kind of consensus was, if we don't get any more rain, we should be in really good shape. Well, I was awoken about, 4:30 this morning or so to a whole lot of rain coming down, and it had me thinking, this could be trouble for the softball field, but it is drained nicely. They've been out here all day long. They've been working on the JV field as well, so everybody can get out here and play some high school softball here in the Mid-Michigan area. Oh, the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. More love going out to our friends, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, The Bird All-American Grill, Weefrich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Melly Well Drilling, Mallet Construction, along with our friends at Clark Modular Homes. They have got their open house coming up May 1st to May 3rd, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Always a great time and always a great deal. And there's nothing like, I keep thinking about it. I love my house, but it was built in 1901. To have that brand new home from Clark Modular Homes is starting to something, I don't want to say my bucket list, but something I am starting to think about doing. We're going to take a look at the starting lineup for the Mount Pleasant Oilers girls and the Bay City Central Lady Wolves when we come back here on our Woods Household pregame show. Getting ready for our first look at the Mount Pleasant Oilers girls. They were 28-10 last year, lost a really, really good senior class, but they have a whole lot of talent coming back as well, including a few girls that are going to be playing college softball in the next year, including Chloe Gillespie, along with Miss Carmen Loy, who I was able to chat with yesterday in our Mount Pleasant Oilers softball season preview. Break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and our Woods Household pregame show. When we come back, we'll talk more about this Oilers squad, go through that starting lineup, and much more. You're listening to Mount Pleasant Oilers softball, Mid-Michigan Sports Network, our Barberry Law Studios built by Konwinski Construction. Back with more Woods Household pregame show right after this.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill by Standing Timber and Logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Blackhoe Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad. Blocko Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Pure sportsmanship is the most important thing in high school sports. When it comes to your home or business, Pure Plumbing just might be the most important thing. If your plumbing isn't pure, don't worry, no one needs to see the other angle. For Pure Plumbing, call 989-644-8928 or visit mipureplumbing.com. Block Electric Company in Wademan has been powering Michigan for over 30 years. There's no job too big or too small for Block Electric Company, like an entire school or something simple at the home, like making sure the outdoor lighting, thermostat, or ceiling fan is installed professionally. Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric Company, and go Aggies. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. My bad, everybody down there talking with the umpire. Well, and Mr. Dave McLaughlin, the umpire, my old athletic director today behind the plate. And so I wanted to, sometimes be a little difficult to tell the strike signal what it is going to be from the umpire. So I got that all cleared up. It's Oilers softball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Run through that starting lineup for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. Leading off, playing in left field, number 3, Miss Haley McIntyre. Wearing number 9, playing second base. Batting second, Carmen Loya. Batting in the third spot, playing first base, Miss Chloe Gillespie. Wearing number 19. Batting in the cleanup spot, playing shortstop. Wearing number 10 will be Miss Morgan Borodachuk. Her twin sister will be hitting right behind her in the number 5 spot. Number 2, Lexi Borodachuk, who will be out in center field. Emily Moore will be behind the plate, playing catcher. She's wearing number 18, batting in the 6th spot. Batting in the 7th spot in the circle will be Miss Amelia Couturier. Batting 8th, playing in right field, will be Marilyn Powell. And batting 9th, playing third base, will be McKenna Bowman. And Bay City Central, look at that lineup here in just a moment as we take another break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network on our Woods Household pregame show as we get you ready for some Mount Pleasant Oiler, Bay City Central softball. The Oiler girls just out there getting some pregame in. Bay City Central head out there and get them in. When we come back, we'll talk about this Bay City Central Wolves team, what happened with these two teams when they played last year, and much more. Woods Household pregame show, girls high school softball coming right up. Mount Pleasant versus Bay City Central here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. We have all seen this sticker, maybe in Mount Pleasant, Beale City, Ithaca, or Traverse City. There is a reason you see that sticker everywhere. That's because Dick Sova Auto Sales has been selling sharp used cars and trucks for 3 generations. Stop in to see the Sova family in downtown Shepherd for your next low-mileage, immaculate car and see why they're known for over 40 years of fantastic customer service. Or you can view their inventory now at DickSovaAutoSales.com. Dick Sova Auto Sales, selling sharp used cars and trucks and supporting sharp student-athletes. Powell Frame and Collision knows we all spend a lot of time looking out the windshield. So if yours gets cracked, dented, damaged, or destroyed, Powell Frame and Collision, along with their expert collision service, now offers expert auto glass replacement. Working with insurance, they can replace all makes and all models, including new advanced driver assistance system windshields. Mention you saw this ad and you can get $100 off of your windshield replacement. Powell Frame and Collision, downtown Shepherd. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical. Welcome back to the Woods Household pregame show here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. New starters for the Bay City Central Lady Wolves taking on our Mount Pleasant Oilers here today. Callie Kazmarek will be leading things up. She plays third base. Hitting in the number 2 spot is Georgia Kiley. She will be in the circle. Taylor J-Jo will be behind the plate, hitting number 3. Katie Hemingway will be in the cleanup spot. She plays first base. Izzy Zuba plays shortstop. She'll be batting fifth, wearing number 1. Bella Matthews rocking number 4, playing out in center field, batting in the 6th spot. Batting in the 7 hole is Cassidy McCure. She plays out in left field. She will be wearing number 8. Mariah Lopez playing at second base, hitting in the 8th spot. She'll be wearing a number 7. Kylie Pippins will be playing out in right field. She is rocking a number 16. Just about set here for Oilers girls softball on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Oilers come into this game at 2-2. Bay City Central comes into this game at 4-5. Oiler girls split with a really good Fowler team, and they also split with a really, really strong Petoskey team as well. And so a good 2-2 record, 4-5 record. Flint Kearsley is who Bay City Central kind of beat up on earlier this year. Essexville Garber got them. Again, a smaller school, but a really, really strong softball program. And last year when these two teams played, it was the Oiler girls winning 12-5 at Bay City Central in the opener. But then the second game, it was a thriller. It was a 4-3 win for the Oiler girls, but that game went 8 innings. And so looking at the 12-5, 4-3 score, I'm imagining Bay City Central probably threw 2 different pitchers in those 2 games, and the girl in the second game obviously fared much better than the youngster in the first game last year. But I said the other girls lost a lot of great talent, but they've got a whole lot back this year as well. We went through that starting lineup one more time. Well, we'll go through that starting lineup one more time. Haley McIntyre is going to be leading things off. She plays left field for the Oiler girls. Carmen Loyal will be hitting in the second spot. She plays second base. She'll be wearing number 9. Chloe Gillespie wears number 19. She'll be at first base. Could see her behind the plate at some point in this game as well. Morgan Borodachuk playing shortstop. She'll be wearing number 10, hitting in the cleanup spot. Now, I saw her hit a grand slam last year as a freshman, so expecting big things for her as a sophomore. Same goes for her twin sister. Lexi Borodachuk will be hitting in the 5 spot, playing out in center field. She wears number 2. Emily Moore will be behind the plate, catching. Wears number 18. She'll be hitting in that 6th spot. Hitting in the 7th spot is Amelia Couturier. She will be in the circle. Hitting in the 8th spot will be Marilyn Powell. She plays right field. Hitting in the 9th spot will be Miss McKenna Bowman. She plays third base. Could also see her in the circle at some point as well for the Oiler girls. Thanks to some of our great sponsors here today. J&J Auto, Blackco Pools and Spas, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive. Along with our friends, Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, along with Jen Verlager and a crew at Mount Pleasant Public Schools, big sponsors of what we do on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, even when we're not calling a Mount Pleasant Oiler game, just so happen to be here today. Also love the Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Banga and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Bureau Insurance, Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pure Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, GNS Mechanical, along with the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund. As I look at the skies, things getting a bit cloudier here at Mount Pleasant High School, which I don't mind temperature-wise so much right now. And as I look at that radar, things looking really, really good for hopefully missing the rain through our broadcast here. And again, comes to high school baseball, softball, we only bring you that first game, that 4 o'clock game. Sometimes those second games don't really get to finish. You never really know. And so we are just about set here for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls taking on a Bay City Central. Take another break here on our Woods House, so a pregame show. When we come back, talk about a couple keys to victory for the Oiler girls, which little basic, common sense when you're this early in the season playing a team that's a familiar foe. We'll be back with more Woods House, so a pregame show right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It's the Oilers, Bay City Central, coming right up, high school softball.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Bogwai Banga and Bradley on Main Street in Mount Pleasant provides uncompromising integrity when providing tax and accounting services to individuals and small businesses in the Mid-Michigan area. Bogwai Banga and Bradley has an expert CPA ready to help you, whether you're an individual that needs help with taxes or a business that needs help with, just about everything. Bogwai Banga and Bradley is a leader in the community and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Visit them online at bwbpc.com or stop into their office on Main Street in downtown Mount Pleasant. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Brickner and Bunker Farm Bureau Insurance Group is Mid-Michigan's #1 team for protecting what matters most to you. Home, auto, life, farm, business. They offer a wide variety of coverage at affordable rates with the customer service of a best friend. Visit Brickner and Buckner Farm Bureau Insurance Group on Pickard Road or visit them online at bricknerbunkerinsurance.com.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, and I never like going from one break to another break real quick, but that's what we're going to do right now. You see the meeting of the minds happening right now at the plate. Captains from Mount Pleasant, captains from Bay City Central, along with the coaches out there, making sure everybody is on the same page as we get ready for some high school softball on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. National Anthem is coming right up, so that will send us out to one more break. When we come back, first pitch, the Oiler girls, the Bay City Central girls here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. High school softball coming to you live from our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction at Ted McIntyre Field here today. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Martinez Painting, Central Michigan's trusted painting professionals. They specialize in both interior and exterior jobs for your home and business. No matter how big or how small the job, they transform any space with quality and precision. Learn more by visiting Martinez Painting on Facebook today or give them a call at 989-317-5536. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will become a reality. As a trusted Mid-Michigan builder, WW Construction specializes in builds and remodels that turn ordinary spaces into extraordinary ones. Join the growing family of homeowners who trust WW Construction for quality and craftsmanship. Call WW Construction today at 989-621-2722 to make your dreams a reality.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network as we get ready for girls high school softball. More love going out to our friends, the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, GNS Mechanical, Hanging by a Thread, Pier Plumbing, All Seasons Fireworks, WW Construction, Block Electric, and the Diner. I just got done eating myself baked cheeseburger for lunch a little bit ago. Also love to the Dance Again Dress Consignment Shop in Wademan. You don't got to go to the big city to look pretty for prom. They have got you covered out there in Wademan at the Dance Again Dress Consignment Shop. Get a hold of Carol Lynch and the crew, and they will hook you up. Also love to CNC Enterprises, your home for all things Red Wing Irish Setter boots in your Mid-Michigan Carhartt headquarters. Also love to the Isabella Community Sportsplex, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beale City Village Store, Sydney's Judges Bench, Dog Central, Berry Funeral Home, the Boomers Lawn Care, Doozie's Ice Cream Place, Almost Up North and Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, Brad Gross Electric, the Fisher Companies, Central Concrete, Central Asphalt, and Fisher Transportation, along with Kenneth Egger at DDS, whose office is not far away from where we are broadcasting here today. It's Amelia Couturier in the circle for the Oilers. Back behind the plate, Emily Moore over at first. It's Chloe Gillespie, Carmen Loya at second. Barodachuk at short, Morgan Barodachuk that is. Bowman over at third. Haley McIntyre out in left. Lexi Barodachuk out in center. And Miss Powell, Marilyn Powell, out in right field. Comes the second pitch. This one's going to be lined to left center for a base hit. Fielded by McIntyre quickly in, but it's a great start there for Callie Kasmerick as she singles to start the game for Bay City Central. That'll bring the pitcher, Georgia Kiley, to the plate. Kiley stepping in with a runner on first base. Taylor J. Joe waiting on deck, the catcher. First runner on for high school softball. Not something that unusual. So you got those best hitters at the top of the order. Again, when it comes to high school softball, high school baseball, high school softball just works at a much quicker rate. It's harder to hit the baseball. It's harder to throw a strike in baseball. Softball is where it's at, if you ask me. This one's going to be fouled off. Now 0-2 the count to Georgia Kelly. So Couturier, they're giving up the single to start the game. You actually see the legendary Ted McIntyre right there coming through the camera angle to head out there and grab that softball. Just got sent out towards the road. Couturier ready with the 0-2. Georgia Kelly waiting. It's just going to miss inside. 1-2 now the count to Kelly. It's got two pitching counterparts going up against each other here. I always feel like it's got to mean a little bit more when you're in the circle. That one's also just going to miss inside. Good location there, though, from Couturier. Just didn't get the ring up. Runner at first base is Kasmerick. 2-2 the count. Nobody out here in the top of the first inning. We're scoreless. Bay City Central and the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. That one's going to be fouled off the netting. Turning into a nice bat here for Kiley. 2-2 the count. Nobody out. Top of the first inning. Mount Pleasant Oiler girls taking on Bay City Central. Couturier, a couple practice pitches into her glove. Here comes a 2-2 count. Runner at first, nobody out, top of the first inning. That one's just going to miss high. Really nice at-bat here from Georgia Kiley. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here. Runner remains at first in Kasmerick. Top of the first inning, scoreless with Mount Pleasant and Bay City Western. Here comes the 3-2. That one's just going to miss on the outside corner for ball 4. So she was down 0-2 and worked her way all the way back to get the walk. Callie Kasmerick moves up to second base. Now Taylor J. Joe stepping into the batter's box with runners on first and second. Still nobody out here. Top of the first inning. Mount Pleasant Oiler girls in a little bit of trouble here to start the ball game. Couturier winds and deals. This one's going to be a grounder in a tough spot, though. Nobody's going to be able to get it, and it will be an infield single for Bay City Central, and they've now got runners, bases loaded and nobody out here in the top of the first inning with your cleanup hitter, Katie Hemingway, coming to the plate. Umpire's going to brush off home plate as it's already gotten pretty dusty here in the early going. But a single from Kasmerick, a walk from Kiley, and then J. Joe with just a little flubber that just kind of went right in between the pitcher, third base, and shortstop. Nobody really made a play on it. Would have been a tough play anyways. I called it an infield single for J. Joe. We've got the bases loaded. First pitch is going to miss. 1-0 the count to Hemingway. Hemingway playing first base, batting in the cleanup spot, wearing number 18 for Bay City Central, hitting from the left side. That one's going to be inside. Now 2-0 the count. Couturier maybe trying to paint those corners a little bit too much here in the early going. 2-0 the count. Stepping back in is Hemingway. It's down the third baseline. Get a signal from Coach Menzo. That one's also going to miss. 3-0 now the count. Hemingway probably taking all the way here, but again, then you have your cleanup hitter up with a 3-0 count. That one is right down the middle. 3-1 now the count to Hemingway. Bases loaded, full of Lady Wolves. We're in the top of the first inning. We're scoreless, 0-0, but the Wolves are threatening. They come into this game at 4-5. The Oiler girls come in at 2-2. Big cut that time there from Hemingway as she swings through it. Great pitch from Couturier. Amelia Couturier in the circle, getting ready for the payoff pitch here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Got to throw a strike here. It'll be fouled down the third baseline, out of play. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here. Kasmerick is at third. Kiley is at second. At first is J. Joe. Hemingway, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. Looking to drive in a couple runs here at least in the top of the first inning. Here comes the pitch from Couturier. It's going to be fouled down the third baseline once again. Great at-bats here in this first inning. You had Georgia Kiley see 8 pitches before she walked. This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat upcoming here. Winding and dealing. Swing and a miss. A big-time punch out there from Couturier. What a pitch to get the cleanup hitter with the bases loaded and nobody out. Now Izzy Zuba stepping to the plate. She plays shortstop, wears number 1 for the Bay City Central Wolves. After this, you've got the center fielder, Bella Matthews. Couturier would love another punch out here. So if you're Hemingway, you're frustrated with yourself. You just need a high fly ball or put something in play to drive in that run from third. But a big punch out and a big moment from Couturier. We're at the top of the first inning. Scoreless with Mount Pleasant and Bay City Central. 1 out. Bases are loaded for Bay City Central. That one right down the middle for a strike to Zuba. 1-1 now the count to the Bay City Central shortstop. Say Bill's Custom Fab, fabrication of the game. Don't usually think about it at the top of the first inning, but with bases loaded, this is a big moment here with 1-1 count, 1 out. That one a swing and a miss on the rise ball. Zuba now down the count, 1-2. Now as long as catcher Moore is able to keep it in front of the plate, you maybe got 1 to waste here to try and get another punch out if you're Couturier. It's going to be fouled off the netting. Nice job by Zuba, fighting that one aloft to stay alive at the plate. Couturier back into the circle. Ready with the 1-2. Now we've got time from behind the plate. Say umpires getting together right now. And really good leadership here by Chloe Gillespie, making sure she goes out and talks to the pitcher, make sure she's in good shape. Again, Couturier loaded the bases, but then had a big punch out of the cleanup hitter, Katie Hemingway. Now could strike out Izzy Zuba for a pair of punch outs in a row. And now I think they're talking about the batter maybe stepping out of the batter's box scenario or something along the lines here, but good job by the umpires. Oh, they're checking on the bunt. 2-out bunt. Was that a bunt that went foul in this situation? So you can't, well, you can try and bunt with 2 strikes, but if it goes foul, you're out. They're saying that's what happened there. A good job by the umpires here getting together. And I think one of them signaled to each other, and the Bay City Central coach is not looking happy. And so waiting to see what the call is here, and it will be an out. And so that'll be a bunt out for Izzy Zuba and a huge out. There's now 2 outs in a row from Couturier. You couldn't call that one a strikeout, but just as good. And the bunt that went foul, and that one is over for a strike to Bella Matthews. So the bases were loaded with nobody out here in the top of the first inning for Bay City Central. There is now 2 outs, and still at third base is Kazmarek. That one hits the outside corner. Great location there from Couturier. 0-2 the count. Bella Matthews steps back in. Big moment here. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Top of the first inning. This one's going to be a foul tip. What a big moment here in the first inning. 0-2 count. Bases loaded. There is 2 outs. Bella Matthews at the plate, the center fielder for Bay City Central. Couturier winds and deals. That one's just going to miss. 1-2 now the count. Good take there from Bella Matthews at the plate. Got to have a lot of confidence to take that pitch with the bases loaded. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Here comes the 1-2. It's going to be hit foul down the first baseline. Gillespie would have been there for the out had it stayed fair. We'll do the 1-2 again. Get a huge pressure-packed moment here in the top of the first inning. The bases are loaded. There's 2 outs. Bella Matthews is at the plate. The Wolves had bases loaded with nobody out. Now might not get anybody across. And there's the punch out. What a play from Couturier as she gets the punch out. 3 are left on for Bay City Central. They loaded the bases, 1, 2, 3 hitters, but then it was a strikeout of Hemingway, a bunt foul out for Izzy Zuba, and then a punch out to Bella Matthews to end that first inning. We've got Haley McIntyre, Carmen Loya, and Chloe Gillespie due up for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. We're going to keep things right here as we're kind of blabbering on for a moment. Didn't really have time. Well, could have had time to possibly head into that commercial break, but the way this first inning went, I thought, maybe Mount Pleasant could roll in this game, but didn't really seem that way with what I saw from the 1, 2, 3 hitters of Bay City Central. Leading things off for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls, brought to you by our friends at Barbary Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, and the Bird All-American Grill. It's Haley McIntyre, Carmen Loya, and Chloe Gillespie, as I just mentioned. Defensively for the Wolves, it's J. Joe behind the plate, Kylie in the circle, Kazmarek at third, Zuba at short, Lopez at second, Hemingway at first. Out in left field, it's McKeer, Matthews out in center, and Pippins out in right field. Again, a big moment in that first inning was Izzy Zuba. Looked like it was going to be a 1-2 count, and she fouled it off, but a great job by the umpire saying, you know what, she kind of looked like she was putting down a bunt there, so they got together, changed the call, it ultimately turned into an out, and so 3 runners on with nobody out for Bay City Central, and Katerier battles her way out of it with a strikeout, a bunt out, and a strikeout. You can't say 3 strikeouts, but pretty darn close. So what a first inning, Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game type stuff right there as Katerier has the bases loaded, nobody out, and gets out of the inning. Here comes Haley McIntyre to lead things off for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. In the circle is Miss Kylie. Georgia Kylie. McIntyre wearing number 3, playing left field. Gets ready to lead things off for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. She will be batting on the right side. I don't know if there's any extra pressure she feels here playing on a field, named after her grandpa, Ted McIntyre. Here comes the first pitch. That one's going to be over for a strike, 0-1 to count. Carmen Loya on deck. All sports type superstar here for the Oiler girls, along with the Borodachuk sisters. That one's going to miss and get back to the backstop, but if there's a time to do it if you're Georgia Kylie, it's right now with nobody on base. 1-1 to count. I mentioned Carmen Loya. She is going to be playing volleyball and softball at the next level. Pretty darn special stuff there. That one's going to bounce up there. 2-1 now the count to Haley McIntyre. 2-1 count, nobody out here. Bottom of the first inning. Haley McIntyre at the plate for the Oiler girls. Georgia Kylie in the circle for Bay City Central. Yeah, the Oiler girls had bases loaded. Nobody out in the top of the first. So we're facing that, I should say. Here comes a pop-up to the short. It's not going to be caught. McIntyre with that speed gets to first base easily with the infield single. Carmen Loya now stepping up to the plate for the Oiler girls. And so first inning for the Oiler girls starting very similar as it did for a Bay City Central with the single. Now Loya comes to the plate. The Oiler girls just want to get a different result out of the inning as we're scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. The Bay City Central girls wasting a bases loaded and nobody out chance in the top of the first. Loya's going to take the first pitch. It's over for a strike from Kylie. Gillespie on deck, Borodachuk behind her. There's just a lot of power and a lot of speed in this Oiler girls lineup. The number 9 hitter is McKenna Bowman. Again, she's essentially a second leadoff hitter out there for Coach Davis and the Oiler girls. McIntyre on first. That leadoff hitter did get on. Loya at the plate. 1-1 count. That one's going to miss outside. 2-1 now the count to Carmen Loya. On first base is McIntyre. Something gets away from J. Joe behind the plate with her speed. She'll definitely take second base. Loya digs in on the right side. Kylie's got the sign. She winds the deals. That one's going to be high. 3-1 now the count. And part of me wants to say you can't put another runner on here with nobody out, but the Oiler girls just got out of the same situation in the top of the first inning, so maybe the Wolves need to load up the bases here to battle. That one's going to get away from the catcher, but it doesn't matter as it was ball 4 anyway. Carmen Loya draws the walk on 5 pitches. Gillespie now steps to the plate, batting on the right side. She'll be behind the plate playing catcher in some games, playing first base here today. She's headed to Cleary University next year to continue her softball career. Kylie back in the circle, dealing with a tough situation now. Nobody out, 2 runners on. That one's going to be inside to Gillespie. Great job by J-Jo keeping that one in front of her. That pitch was inside, very near the batter. It didn't hit Gillespie, so just tough catch there if you're J-Jo behind the plate. Here comes the 1-0. That one's going to bounce up there, and another great job by J-Jo. McIntyre got a great jump, but that ball kind of bounced out towards third base. That's where J-Jo was able to gather it. It would have been an easy throw down to third for her. 2-0 now the count to the number 3 hitter, Chloe Gillespie. That one's going to be down the middle for a strike. She started to pull the trigger, then held off. I think Gillespie thought that one was going to continue to rise and end up sitting down in the zone. 2-1 now the count. Here comes the pitch from Kylie. That one's going to bounce in there. And again, J-Jo with a fantastic job keeping the softball in front of her to not allow the runners to advance. They remain at first and second. 3-1 count for Chloe Gillespie. We are in the bottom of the first inning. The Oiler girls, the Bay City Wolves. We are scoreless. That one's going to miss outside. The bases are loaded full of Oiler girls. This is the same exact situation that Bay City Central found themselves in. They got 0 runs out of it. If you're the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls and Morgan Barotichuk, you know that. So if you're Barotichuk, you got to drive in a run here to give your team the lead. Big shout out to Eric Barotichuk. The amount of work he put in here at the softball field with Konowinski Construction this summer was just a great job. A shout out to him. And I also saw Jason McIntyre out here working on this stadium a lot this summer as well. When I would drive by, I saw him out here with the tool belt. And so it's really cool to see this beautiful venue now here. Ted McIntyre Field at Mount Pleasant High School, home of Oilers softball, as you see out there in the outfield. Barotichuk, bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch, ropes it towards short, looking for the out at first base. They get it. Smart play out there by Zuba, taking the sure out. And I'm going to call that a sacrifice RBI for Morgan Barotichuk. I know she wanted a little bit more out of that, but, I always give the extra love in the box score. Coming around to score from third was Haley McIntyre. Moving up to third, Carmen Loya. Moving up to second, Chloe Gillespie. Now at the dish, Lexi Barotichuk. First pitch is going to miss outside 1-0. But if you're Morgan Barotichuk, the cleanup hitter, you went up there, you did your job. You've got to run in. You now lead it 1-0 in the ballgame. Bottom of the first inning, still threatening are the Oiler girls. Long fly ball here, could score another run for Lexi Barotichuk. That one's going to miss high. 2-0 now the count. Emily Moore is on deck. Behind her, Amelia Couturier. Couturier did a great job in the circle after the bases were loaded. Essentially 3 punch-outs in a row with 2 strikeouts and a bunt out. This one's going to be roped out towards left field. It's carrying, it's gone! A 3-run bomb for Lexi Barotichuk. And you think about the Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. The bomb out to left field from Lexi Barotichuk, and it was a no-doubter. McKeever took one step and just looked up at the fence and knew it was going to fly over. 4-0 Oiler girls with the lead. The only out that has been had for Bay City Central was what I call the sacrifice RBI for Morgan Barotichuk. Morgan Barotichuk knew she just had to put it in play to get that run across. She did. Little did she know her twin sister was going to come up and hit a bomb right after her. A 3-run jack out to left field for Miss Lexi Barotichuk. Emily Moore now stepping to the dish. There's one out. It's 4-0 Oiler girls here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch is going to be over for a strike to Moore. Moore behind the dish to date for the Oiler girls. Or at least for the first game, she's behind the dish, I should say. Kylie's got the next pitch ready. Winds and deals. Check swing there, but going around is Moore. Count now quickly 0-2. 4-0 Oiler girls in front here in the bottom of the first inning. If you just joined us, you just missed a 3-run bomb from Lexi Barotichuk. Pretty much sent it out to the hitting cages here at Mount Pleasant High School out of Ted McIntyre Field. That one's going to miss 1-2 the count. Emily Moore trying to get her to chase that high heat. Didn't fall for it. She's down 0-2, counting now 1-2. Moore digs back in. That one's going to be low, counting now 2-2. Couturier is on deck. Still one out. Bottom of the first inning, the Oiler girls already with a crooked number across here at the bottom of the first with a 4 spot. Bases were loaded, and it was a sacrifice RBI from Morgan Borodachuk. Runners moved up to second and third, and it was a bomb for Lexi Borodachuk. That's going to be a pop out to the pitcher. Nice catch out there from Kylie. So it's not an easy play to go from your pitching motion to have to kind of stop, turn, and gather the softball. Great job there by Kylie on the mound to come up with that catch. Couturier now stepping to the plate. She'll be in a much different spot coming out into the circle in the second inning, sporting a 4-run lead. Remember, Bay City Central had the bases loaded versus Couturier. Then she got 4, 5, 6 to go down in order to get out of that bottom of the, or the top of the first inning unscathed. It's 4-0 Oiler girls with the lead. 1-0 the count. That one's also going to miss. 2-0 the count to Amelia Couturier. I said in the first inning, or top of the first inning when Couturier was facing Kylie, I feel like you got a little extra oomph when you're facing your pitching counterpart. Here comes the 2-0. That one's going to miss inside. 3-0 now the count. Oiler girls lead it 4-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning. Number 7 hitter at the plate for the Oiler girls, Amelia Couturier. She's ahead in the count 3-0. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be roped up the middle for a base hit. Coach Davis showing how much confidence he has in Couturier, allowing her to swing away at the 3-0 pitch, and you see why she ropes it up the middle for a base hit. Now Marilyn Powell stepping to the plate. Right fielder for the Oiler girls. They got the pinch runner coming in, or the courtesy runner, I believe is what they call it. It's going to be Morgan Carr coming in to run for the pitcher Couturier. Powell now stepping to the dish. 2 outs, runner at first base for the Oiler girls. Bottom of the first inning, they lead it 4-0. Powell at the plate. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss there. Powell swinging for the fences on that one. Nice job pulling the string by Georgia Kiley. 4-0 Oiler girls in front behind the 3-home run blast from Lexi Borodachuk. Her twin sister also with a sacrifice RBI here in the bottom of the first as well. Borodachuk girls driving in 4 runs. 0-2 now the count. Powell steps back in. Runner at first base is Carr. Pinch running for Couturier. Line and deal. That one's going to bounce up there. I like the pitch, though, from Kylie trying to get Powell to chase, as you've got a couple to waste here. Stepping back in is Powell. 1-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be drove to third base, but it will be caught on the run. A nice play over at third from Kaz Merrick. So a line out to third base to end the first inning. The Oiler girls, line out to third base. McKenna Bowman, the only girl who did not come up for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. They get 4 runs. They leave 1 on base. We're headed to the top of the second inning. Due up at 7-8-9 for Bay City Central. We'll be back with the second inning right after this. Oiler girls lead it 4-0 on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blocko Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blocko Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. First pitch is over for a strike to Cassidy McCure, playing left field for the Bay City Central girls. Next pitch is going to bounce up there 1-1 now, the count for McCure, taking on Couturier. Actually, they're going to say that bounced up there and hit her, so it'll be a hit by pitch. It'll put McCure on at first base. Bay City Central girls in the top of the first inning got the first three batters on. It was single, walk, infield single, but then it went strikeout, bunt out, strikeout to end that first inning. It's kind of taken over in dominant fashion was Amelia Couturier in the circle after those bases were loaded. Here in the top of the second inning, she hits the first batter to immediately put somebody on. Maybe she's just a little bit more comfortable with a runner on. And she zings that one by Mariah Lopez for the first strike, 0-1 the count. Kylie Pippins on deck. Lopez at the plate. Then it's back to the top of the order for the Bay City Central girls with Callie Kazmarek, who just made a really nice play to end that bottom of the first inning, that line-out catch over at third. Couturier ahead in the count, 0-1. Runner at first base. And try and drop down the bunt. It's going to go foul. 0-2 now the count, and I'm sure no Bay City Central girls are going to try and bunt with 2 strikes anymore today. And the bases were loaded. 1 out, top of the first, and Izzy Zuba kind of had a foul play. Was it a bunt? Wasn't a bunt. The officials got together. You often hear me say best seat in the house, brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. It is those officials. And there's another punch out for Couturier as Lopez goes down looking. But a great job by those officials getting together to get that call right, and ultimately led to the second out for Bay City Central with those bases loaded in the top of the first. Already 3 strikeouts for Couturier. You could kind of say 4 with that bunt out as well. A quick throw down to first base to get over the head of Gillespie. Great job covering out in left field. Right field, though, they're going to get the runner trying to go to second. What a play from Marilyn Powell. Out trying to steal is Cassidy McCure. From behind the plate, Moore overthrew it, but that's why you teach the fundamentals in high school baseball, high school softball. Powell was ready for it. It went over the head of Gillespie, so the runner thought, I'm going to have an easy trip to second base. No, on top of everything was Powell. Quick throw into second for the out. Now 2 down, nobody on for Bay City Central. Bay City Central, few missed opportunities here early. Again, leadoff runner, first 3 leadoff runners out in the first, and the leadoff runner here in the second, not able to do anything with it. 4-0, Oiler girls lead it here in the top of the second inning. That one's going to be over for a strike. Pippins at the dish. Number 9 hitter looking to turn it around for Callie Kazmarek. This one's going to be fouled off the netting. 1-2 to Lopez, or pardon me, 1-2 to Pippins. 2 up for the Oiler girls. It's McKenna Bowman, then back to the top of the order with McIntyre and Loya. That one's going to miss high. 2-2 now the count to Kylie Pippins. She's also fouled one off as well. This will be pitch number 6 of the at-bat upcoming. That one's going to be fouled off. Shout out to my buddy Aid Mindell. Our friends at Bogue, Waibenga, and Bradley. Whole lot of 2s out there. Second inning, 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. 4-0 lead for the Oiler girls. Find a 3-run home run from Miss Lexi Barodachuk. 2-2 the count. Pippins digging back in on the right side. Here comes the pitch. It's just going to miss. Going to run the count full. Amelia Couturier steps back into the circle. Ready to get the sign from the dugout and from Moore behind the plate. 3-2 the count. The Oiler girls already lead at 4-0 here in the top of the second inning. That one's going to be over for another punch out. Make it 4-2 for Miss Amelia Couturier. She is just dominating in the circle right now. No runs, no hits, 1 hit by a batter, but nobody left on as the Oiler girls get that runner trying to go to second on a great play out in right field from Miss Marilyn Powell. Going to take another break here. Be back with the bottom of the second inning. Oiler girls turn around the order 9-1-2. Due up for Mount Pleasant right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill by Standing Timber and Logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes. Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on this Mid-Michigan Sports Network. As we get ready here for the bottom of the second inning. Mount Pleasant Orla girls already lead at 4-0. Looking to add to their 4-run lead here in the bottom of the second. It is Miss McKenna Bowman playing third base for the Orla girls in this one. Could also see her in the circle a lot of times this year. Then let's turn around back to the top of the order. Haley McIntyre, who had an infield single. Then Carmen Loya, who walked. Chloe Gillespie, who walked. All three of those girls came around to score via sacrifice RBI from Morgan Borodachuk and a 3-run bomb from Lexi Borodachuk. 4-0 Orla girls in front. Bottom of the second inning. 9-1-2 due-up. McKenna Bowman stepping to the plate. Georgia Kiley remains in the circle for the Bay City Central girls. Bowman playing that hot corner for the Orla girls. Going to swing and miss at the first pitch. Orla girls, 4 runs across in that first inning. Technically 3 hits if you really want to fill out all the box score. Kiley's got the sign she wants, or got the number she wants from the dugout. This one's going to miss outside, 1-1 the count. And sometimes when I'm at the softball games or even baseball games, you'll hear, from the dugout something like 4-1-4 yelled, and it has to do with a pitch, a location, a frame, and all that different kind of stuff. Here comes the 1-1. That one's going to miss out. 2-1 now the count to McKenna Bowman. Bowman steps out, looks down at third base. Coach Davis has a sign, steps back in, gets ready to go. Here comes a 2-1 from Kiley. That one's also going to miss high. 3-1 now the count to McKenna Bowman. Three and 1 the count, bottom of the second inning. Orla girls up 4-0 against Bay City Central here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. That one's going to bounce up there. It will be a base on balls for McKenna Bowman. She heads down to first base. Now we're back to the top of the order already here in the bottom of the second inning for the Mount Pleasant Orla girls as Haley McIntyre will step to the plate. Should say already back to the top of the order with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. McIntyre, an infield single. Drove in by what I'm calling a sacrifice RBI from Morgan Borodachuk. Here comes the steal, throw down to second base, not in time. Great jump out there from McKenna Bowman to take second base. It was a great throw from behind the plate from J-Jo. It was just such a big jump out there from Bowman. There wasn't really much of a chance for J-Jo, even with that great arm behind the plate. Here comes the 1-0. That one's over for a strike. 1-1 now the count to McIntyre. Runner at second base. Chance for Haley McIntyre to drive in a run here. She sends something to the outfield, and she does there. It's going to get down in front of the right fielder. Great job keeping it in front of her by Pippins. Rounding third and coming in to score with the speed is Bowman. RBI single for Miss Haley McIntyre. She's now 2 for 2 on the day in kind of different style. She had the infield single using her speed the first time up. This time she sends a rope out to right field for the single. Carmen Loya now stepping to the dish. She reached base, came around to score last inning via walk. She was drove in on the 3-run bomb from Lexi Borodachuk. Runner at first base, nobody out. Top of the second inning, already 5-0 Orla girls in front. That one's going to be a foul tip. So you got a piece of the umpire back there. And see how nice Carmen Loya is. Carmen Loya fouls that off. It catches the umpire. She apologizes to the umpire. 0-1 to count to Loya. So McKenna Bowman reached via walk, stole second base, and then came around to score on the RBI single from Haley McIntyre moments ago. 5-0. Oilers in front here in the second inning, bottom of the second inning. That one's going to be over for a strike. 0-2 the count to Loya. Thinking about the steal was McIntyre. Great job behind the plate by J-Jo, jumping up, being ready to throw. Here comes the 0-2. That one's going to miss outside. Good eye there from Carmen Loya to take that pitch. 0-2. Run at first is Haley McIntyre. The Oiler girls lead at 5-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning. There is still nobody out. That one's going to be over for strike 3, just down the top part of the zone to send Carmen Loya down looking. That'll bring Chloe Gillespie to the plate. She walked her first time up. Count was 3-1 when she took ball 4. She came around to score on the 3-run home run from Miss Lexi Borodachuk. 5-0 Oiler girls in front. Bottom of the second inning. One out. Runner at first base is McIntyre. McIntyre leads away as that one zips on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Kylie maybe gets that first punch up, could get some confidence going for her in the circle. In high school softball, no matter how good you are, some of these lineups you're going to play, you're going to give up some runs. McIntyre is going to take second base. Now she looks to go to third as the ball gets away from the short or second base, and it will be 2 stolen bases there for Haley McIntyre. She now moves up to third base with just 1 out. High fly ball now could score the run. 1-1 the count to Gillespie as we head back to the plate. What a play there from McIntyre. Taking second, the ball gets away from second base. Shortstop didn't see exactly who had it. Allows her to take third base. Now she leads away from third, ready for a ball to get away from the catcher. But from what I've seen from J-Jo behind the plate, I don't think that's going to happen. 2-1 the count as that one misses high. Gillespie digs back in. That one bounces up there, but again, J-Jo is just a concrete wall behind the plate, not letting anything by her. Bottom of the second inning. Oiler girls lead at 5-0. 1 out, runner at third base for the number 3 hitter, Chloe Gillespie. Morgan Borodachuk on deck. Behind her, Lexi Borodachuk. A show bunt, and it will be ball 4. And it's a 3-1 count again, where Gillespie draws the walk. And that'll bring Borodachuk to the plate. Morgan Borodachuk, that is. Wearing number 10, playing shortstop for the Oiler girls. Gets you line 1 to short on grounder style. I called it a sacrifice RBI because she swung at the first pitch. I kind of thought her mindset was, we just saw Bay City Central with the bases loaded in the first not get anybody in. Morgan Borodachuk wanted to make sure that didn't happen. She put it into play. I'll call it a sacrifice RBI for her as she steps up to the plate here. Runners on the corners. There is 1 out. We got pinch runner coming in for Gillespie as well. Coming in to run for Chloe Gillespie is going to be Mika Prout. Borodachuk in sacrifice RBI, and my box score her first time up. 5-0 Oiler girls in front. We're in the bottom of the second inning. You've got the cleanup hitter at the plate with runners on the corners and 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Borodachuk lines it to the outfield. That is going to score 1. Rounding second, going to third is Mika Prout. Now going to second base is going to be Miss Morgan Borodachuk as she lines the RBI double. Moving Gillespie up to third. She goes up to second. She now has 2 ribbies on the day, and I've got her 1 for 1 in my box score. And watch out. Here comes Lexi Borodachuk. Her first time at the dish in the first inning. She had a 3-run bomb out to left field on a 2-0 count. Or I believe I got a 2-0 count. I scratched things off here for the home run. Might have been a 1-0 count. Swings at the first one. It's lined down the third baseline. It's fair. Coming in to score is Mika Prout. Coming in to score is Morgan Borodachuk. Rounding second, digging for third, and safely sliding in is Lexi Borodachuk. So you got a 2 RBI triple, a 3-run home run. I think our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial, is already penciled in, and we're only in the bottom of the second inning. 5 RBI for Lexi Borodachuk, a triple and a home run, a double, a single away from the cycle. 8-0 Oiler girls in front here in the bottom of the second inning as Emily Moore steps to the dish. There's still just 1 out. Moore popped up to the pitcher, her first time at the plate. That one's going to miss low, 1-0 the count. Amelia Couturier is on deck after her, Marilyn Powell. Then it'd be back to McKenna Bowman, batting around here in the bottom of the second for the Oiler girls. That one's going to miss inside, 2-0 the count. Get another great job by J-Jo, keeping the ball in front of her. You've got a lot of speed over at third base from Lexi Borodachuk, but J-Jo was able to keep that one close enough. Borodachuk didn't even think about coming in to score. 2-0 now the count to Emily Moore. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit towards short. Not an easy play. It's going to be a long throw across the diamond. The run comes in. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag. So Moore is going to have herself an RBI single, and it's now 9-0 Oiler girls in front as Lexi Borodachuk comes in to score her second run of the day. So Lexi Borodachuk on the day is 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, 5 RBI, a home run, and a triple. That's a nice little Tuesday there for Lexi Borodachuk. Couturier now steps to the plate. She singled in the first inning, was eventually stranded there. 9-0 Oiler girls in front. At first base after the RBI single, well, it's not Emily Moore. I believe we've got a pinch runner in. And running for Emily Moore is going to be Izzy Davis. That one's going to bounce up there to Powell. 1-0 the count. Again, J-Jo, that one also bounced up there. She has been really, really good behind the plate. That one's right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 now the count to Couturier. Again, singled in the last inning before she was stranded. That one's a swinging strike. 1-2 now the count to Couturier. 1-2 the count. Still just one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Oiler girls rolling up 9-0. 4 in the first, 5 here in the second, and still threatening. Grounded to third. Long throw over to first base. They get the out. The runner does move up to second. Ground out to third base. Nice play over there from Kazmarek. And I also thought it was a really smart decision to not go after the lead runner. Last thing you want there is go after the lead runner. She beats the throw, and he end up still just one out, and that runner and score. Well, 2 runners on it would have been. McKenna Bowman. Marilyn Powell now at the dish. This one will be fouled out of play. Powell just made a great play defensively in the top of the second inning. Oftentimes, you make the great defensive play, you come up to bat, you make something happen. 0-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the second inning. It's 9-0 Oilers in front. Lexi Borodachuk has 5 RBI in the game. She scored 2 runs. She's got a home run and a triple in the first 2 innings. This one's hit towards second base. Not an easy play with the speed out there, and they will beat out the throw. No, they'll actually say it was out at third base. Powell looked like she beat it out from my vantage point. But as you often hear me say, best view in the house brought to you by our friends at Woods Household Appliance in Clare. She got nabbed at first. She goes down. We're headed to the third inning. The Oiler girls in control, 9-0. Couturier's already struck out 4 as well in the circle. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Right at the top of the third inning, the Oiler girls are in control. They scored 4 in the bottom of the first, 5 in the bottom of the second. They lead at 9-0 here in the top of the third as Amelia Couturier heads back to the circle. She's punched out 4 through 2. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be on the outside corner for Couturier. We're at the top of the order. Callie Kazmarek at the plate. She singled her first time up and was stranded at third base. 9-0 Oiler girls with the lead. This one's going to be fouled off down the first baseline. If you weren't with us in the first inning, at the top of the first, Bay City Central loaded the bases with the first 3 batters. and then Couturier took over. Strikeout, bunt out, strikeout. Then in the second, it was a hit by pitch and then 2 punch-outs, and the runner that got on base was ultimately thrown out on a great play from right field by Miss Powell, Marilyn Powell. That's going to be a single there, an infield single for Kazmarek, her second time reaching base. And maybe now we're back to the top of the order as Georgia Kiley will step to the plate. This is going to be the heart of the order here at the top of the order, I kind of feel like, from Bay City Central. After Kiley, you've got J-Jo. Kiley walked her first time at the plate. She ran the count full, fouled one off before she ultimately took the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Here comes one to second. Loya's going to get the tag, look for the double play, and she gets it. Loya with the, what would you call that, a 4-3 double play. Excellent play there by Carmen Loya. She gets the tag and gets the throw out, and just like that, there's 2 outs. Double play, the best friend of a pitcher, Amelia Couturier, absolutely loving that right now as Taylor J-Jo steps to the plate. She had an infield single her first time up. That one's going to miss outside, 1-0 the count. 9-0 Oiler girls in front. We're in the top of the 3rd innings. The Oiler girls take on Bay City Central here at Ted McIntyre Field, our Barbary Law Studios. That one's going to be there for a strike, 1-1 now the count. Much love going out to friends Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Mount Pleasant Automotive, ENS Graphics, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Konwinski Construction, Blockco Pools and Spas, along with J&J Auto. Think about that collision report that Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. Yeah, it's all about Miss Lexi Barodachuk right now. She has a home run and a triple, 5 RBI. And one's going to miss. Count now 2-2. Taylor J-Jo. 2 outs here. Top of the 3rd inning. J-Jo with the bases empty after a great double play moments ago. 3-2 now the count. That one rolls up there. Looking for another punch out here is Couturier. Struck out 2 in the first and 2 in the second. This one's going to be hit out towards right field. Loya looking to make a play from second base. It's not there, so Marilyn Powell's going to gather it. It'll be a single for Taylor J-Jo, putting her on first base. The cleanup hitter, Katie Hemingway, stepping to the plate. This may be the play of the Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game so far, other than what Barodachuk's done at the plate. You had nobody out, bases loaded, and the cleanup hitter at the plate at the top of the 1st inning with Katie Hemingway. She eventually saw 8 pitches before she went down on strikes, but it was a fantastic job battling by Couturier to get the cleanup hitter to go down on strikes with the bases loaded. 9-0 Oiler girls in front. Top 3. 2 out. Runner on first base. And one's going to miss outside for Hemingway. Izzy Zuba on deck. Shadwell called the controversial bunt out in the 1st inning. She fouled it off with 2 strikes. Ultimately, it was the 3rd strike call. Great job behind the plate by Moore. She lost it for a moment. A great job staying with it, keep it in front of her, not allowing the speedy J-Jo to try and take second base. Here comes the 2-0. That one's going to miss outside. And right now, you might see Couturier pitching around the cleanup hitter, Katie Hemingway. You do have those 2 outs. Couturier digs back in. Hemingway batting from the left side, ready to swing away. That one's just going to miss on the outside. So it will be a 4-pitch walk there to Hemingway. Again, that may have been by design by Coach Davis and Couturier. That's going to bring up Izzy Zuba. So Zuba's the girl, he counted as a 5th strikeout with that bunt that went foul that counted for the out. 9-0 Oiler girls in front. We've got 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Oiler girls put up 4 in the first, 5 in the second, and Couturier has been able to shut them down through 2 2/3 thus far in the circle. McKenna Bowman due up for the Oiler girls. And one's over for a strike, 1-1 now the count to Izzy Zuba. 2 outs, top 3rd, 1-1 the count. Number 5 hitter at the plate, the shortstop for Bay City Central. Runners on 1st and 2nd. That one's going to miss inside, 2-1 now the count. if you're Katir, you don't want to load them up for Bella Matthews. If you give up a run, it's not that big of a deal. You're up 9-0 here in the third. You scored 4 runs and 5 runs in the 2 plate appearances your team has had. I feel pretty confident coming here in the bottom of the third. That one's also going to miss high. 3-1 now, the count to Zuba. Bella Matthews on deck. She struck out her first time to the plate. Coach Davis now heading out to the circle. And again, Coach's cap, you have me put it on, I would not be a good one. But I think what he's probably saying in this situation is what I was getting to moments ago. You're up 9-0. Don't worry if a girl ropes one here or anything like that. Just make sure you throw strikes down the middle and let your defense take care of you from behind you. Thanks to more of our great sponsors, Malley Construction, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Clark Modular Homes, along with our friends at Weefrich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, the Bird All-American Grill, Bill's Custom Fab, sponsor of our fabrication of the game, Gates Drilling and Service. Don't got so much of a halftime show in baseball, softball, but they are a halftime sponsor. Also love to Barbary Law, sponsor of our Barbary Law Studios, built by our friends at Konwinski Construction. It was Eric Borodachuk and the Konwinski Construction crew did a ton of this work here. Turn this Ted McIntyre Field into just one of the best high school softball venues in mid-Michigan. Great stadium seating. It's a lot more comfortable than those bleachers. That one's going to be high. It's ball 4 to Izzy Zuba. That's going to load him up for Bay City Central, and you start to think, the old Lloyd Christmas, you're telling me you're going to give us a chance to get back in this game, Mount Pleasant. And the Lloyd Christmas, if you're not familiar from Dumb and Dumber, the old Jim Carrey character, 9-0 the score. Top third, bases are now loaded full of Lady Wolves. 2 outs. At the plate is Bella Matthews. She went down on strikes to end that first inning with the bases loaded. Couturier has a sign, winds and deals, swinging through it is Matthews. 0-2 now the count as Matthews steps back in, batting from the right side. And bases loaded, full of Bay City Lady Wolves. Cassidy McKeer is on deck. Here comes the 0-2 from Couturier. It's going to be a swing and a miss. Actually, going to be a foul tip. Great job there by Matthews, staying alive at the plate. 0-2 the count. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Top of the third inning. Got the feeling if Bay City Central is going to get back into this game, it's got to start right here. And that's actually going to plunk her inside. It's going to be a hit by pitch that will allow a run to come in. And that'll bring Cassidy McKeer to the plate. J-Jo will come in to score. Moving up to third is Hemingway. Moving up to second is Zuba. Matthews now at first with Cassidy McKeer stepping to the plate. She led off the second inning being hit by a pitch herself. 9-1 now the score. Oiler girls in front here in the top of the third inning. That one's going to miss outside. 1-0 the count to McKeer. Mariah Lopez on deck. Kylie Pippins behind her. Swing and a miss. That time McKeer swinging for the fence. 1 run across here in the top of the third for Bay City Central. They still have the bases loaded. There's 2 outs. 1-1 count with the number 7 hitter at the plate. She's going to foul this one down the first baseline. And Lopez on deck. Pippins behind her. Bases loaded. 1-2 count. Oiler girls lead it 9-1. Swing and a miss. Big time punch out there for Couturier. That is her 5th of the afternoon. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Bay City gets 1 across, but for the second time in 3 innings, Bay City Central leaves the bases loaded. McKenna Bowman led off the second inning. How about leading off the third inning as well? We're headed to the bottom of the third inning. Oiler girls lead it 9-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We'll keep our broadcast right through here through the half-inning break. So thanks to more of our great sponsors. Our friends at Barbary Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill. Clark Modular Homes has their open house coming up May 1st to May 3rd. Also, much love to Weefrich Financial, our sponsor of the Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game. So far, it's all about Miss Lexi Borodachuk. She's got a home run, a triple, and 5 RBI, 2 runs scored. Also, love to our friends, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, J&J Auto, Block Pools and Spas, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, along with Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, our sponsor of Closing the Deal. It's a great job by Couturier closing the deal on the first and third innings with the bases loaded. So she technically hasn't allowed a hit with the bases loaded, but allowed one run to come in via hit by pitch. But Couturier, once those bases have got loaded those couple times, she is absolutely locked in for the Oiler girls. Bottom of the third inning. Said Bowman leading off the second inning, now leading off the third inning here for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls. 4 runs across in the first. 5 runs across in the second for Mount Pleasant. If they put up, let's see here, it's 9-1. If they put up 7 here in the bottom of the third, that would be the 3-run mercy rule. If you're up by 15 after 3, they call it in girls high school softball, high school baseball. If you're up by 10 after 5, they call it. Pop out to short here, it will be caught. Nice play by Zuba. That was not an easy play. Looking up, we got a mixture of some sun and clouds here. A little bit of wind blowing as well out towards center field. That'll bring us back to the top of the order, Miss Haley McIntyre. It looks like we don't have a substitution. Coming in for Haley McIntyre is going to be number 7, Miss Izzy Davis. So a couple substitutions might be kind of coming through now. McIntyre with a solid day. 2 runs scored already. She led off the game with an infield single, had an RBI single, stole 2 bases back in the second inning. Now stepping in is Izzy Davis, hitting in the second spot here in the third inning. Oiler girls lead at 9-1 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We've got one out in the bottom of the third inning. Stepping to the plate is Izzy Davis. Carmen Loya awaits on deck. That pitch is going to be over for a strike to Izzy Davis. So McIntyre looking down towards the side. It's good coming to pitch again. I'm not going to get all the girls that step into the circle from Coach Davis. That one's going to bounce away from the catcher, but if you're J-Jo, this is the time to let it happen. She's been a brick wall behind the plate. There's been a runners on base for Bay City Central. 9-1 Oiler girls lead at bottom of the third inning. Got a ball and a strike going against Izzy Davis as she digs back in on the right side. There's one out. Oiler girls would love to put a 7 spot up here. End it in the third inning. If you're Bay City Central, that's the last thing you're thinking about. But when there's 4 scored in the first, 5 scored in the second, impossible. 2-1 now the count to Davis. Georgia Kiley's got the signal from the dugout, winds and deals with a 2-1. That's also going to miss high. 3-1 now the count to Izzy Davis. Say Loya, who was waiting on deck, walked in the first, struck out in the second. Here comes the next pitch. That's going to be over for a strike. It'll run the count full to 3-2. And if you're a 1-8 hitter, if you're Mount Pleasant, 2 innings, you've gotten 2 at-bats. Very rarely do you get a at-bat per inning, but that's how it's going so far. This one's going to be roped down the third baseline, foul. We'll do the payoff pitch again. Izzy Davis, this will now be the 7th pitch of the at-bat that she's seen. Nice job battling up there. Davis digs back in. Here comes a 3-2. Hit up the middle for a base hit for Izzy Davis. He's single. Actually, she's going to go for second. They don't get the tag in, so she takes it. What a heads-up play right there. Just kind of an extra base from Izzy Davis. Now here comes Carmen Loya to the plate. And Loya is going to be continuing her volleyball and softball career next year. Whew. Dueling in college, something pretty darn special. I know Claire softball, girls basketball coach Shane Kelly did that back in his day, I will say. The first one's a swing and miss from Carmen Loya, which is a special thing to be a dual sport athlete in high school, let alone college. Here comes the 0-1. That one's going to miss inside. Going to dance it away from second base a little bit is Izzy Davis. 9-1, Oiler girls in front. There's one out in the bottom of the third inning. At the plate is the number 2 hitter for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls, Carmen Loya. She's technically 0 for 1 on the day, but she does have a run scored after she walked in the first inning, was drove in by Alexia Borodachuk. That one's also going to bounce up there, but again, J-Jo continues to be a brick wall behind the plate, not allowing anything to get by her. Got a lot of speed out there with Izzy Davis as well. 2-0 the count. Kylie's got the sign. She winds and deals. That one's also going to bounce up there. This one finally gets away from J-Jo. Just a matter of numbers before that was going to happen. So now moving up to third base is Izzy Davis. Carmen Loya with a high fly ball here to the outfield could score a run. 9-1 Oilers in front. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Girls High School softball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Brought to you by our friends Kenneth Egger, DDS, the Fisher Companies, Gross Farms, Brad Gross Electric, along with Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods. So when a rope down the third baseline, it is fair. Coming in to score is Izzy Davis. Carmen Loya rounds first, thinks about second, but she will hold up. It's an RBI single for Miss Carmen Loya. Coming around to score is Izzy Davis. So the leadoff hitter, Haley McIntyre, now Izzy Davis, is technically 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored at the plate. That's some pretty good production at the top of the order. Mika Davis now hitting for Chloe Gillespie. First pitch is going to be outside. Mika Prout, it is, digging in at the dish. 1-0 the count. Loya leads away from first. 10-0 Oiler girls in front. That one's also going to miss. 2-0 now the count to Mika Prout. Prout looks down the third baseline, has a little laugh there. Head coach John Davis, she gets the signal. 10-1 Oiler girls in front. Bottom of the third inning. 1 out. Kylie winds and deals. This one's going to be hit out towards the outfield. It's going to be a base hit, maybe extra bases for Mika Prout. She will hold at first as that runner takes third. Coming all the way around to score is going to be Loya. She slides in, but they get her. An aggressive play from Loya as she tries to take an extra base. Moving up to second base will be Mika Prout with the single. But now 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. I don't mind the aggressiveness from Loya. It's kind of a little lackadaisical out there when the ball came in. She just kept on running, but it ended up being a good throw to nab her at home from Bay City Central. Stepping to the plate, Miss Morgan Borodachuk. She had a sacrifice RBI her first time at the dish, had an RBI double her second time at the dish, and came around to score. Runner at second base is Mika Prout. 10-1 the score, bottom of the third inning. 2 outs, runner on second base for Morgan Borodachuk. Can you talk about that mercy rule if the Oiler girls get another run here? If you are Bay City Central, it could be down to your final 6 outs unless you get a run. First one will miss, 1-0 the count to Morgan Borodachuk. That's the first pitch that she has taken here in this game. Georgia Kylie back in the circle, winds and deals. That one's going to miss high. 2-0 now the count to Morgan Borodachuk. And with 2 outs, I guess I'll say maybe not the worst person to give a base to, but Lexi Borodachuk's on deck. She's got a home run and triple in this game. Morgan Borodachuk digs back in, the sophomore batting from the right side. That one's also going to miss. It's high. That'll allow Mika Prout to move up to third base. Heads up base running there from Prout. As soon as he saw that one go so high, she knew there was no way J-Jo was going to be able to get it. Started trotting towards third base. Didn't even really have to get a full-on sprint. The reason why it's important to move up, third base, high school level. If another one gets away, you're able to come in and score without anybody even getting hit. And that one is outside. It's a 4-pitch walk for Morgan Borodachuk, which brings up Lexi Borodachuk. Lexi Borodachuk, a single and a double away from the cycle. I'll make that joke. We're here in the third inning, and it's her third at-bat. I'll make that joke as well. 10-1 Oiler girls lead. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Borodachuk swinging for the fence again on that one, and she swings through it. 0-1 the count. Taking second base is Morgan Borodicek on that one, though. So now 2 runners in scoring position, second and third. 1-1 now the count as that one just misses. Lexi Borodicek looks down to Coach Davis for the sign. 10-1, Oiler girls in front, bottom of the third inning. Here comes the 1-1. That's going to be inside, and again, what a play from J-Jo to keep that in her glove. I feel like she almost caught that one at the feet of Lexi Borodicek, somehow able to keep it in front of her and not allow those runners to advance. 2-1 the count. 2 outs. Runners on second and third for the Oilers here in the bottom of the third inning. They already lead at 10-1. That's going to miss inside. 3-1 now the count to Lexi Borodicek. Two outs, bottom third. Runners at second and third for the Oilers. That one's going to be over for a strike. It's going to run the count full to Lexi Borodicek. Big moment here. Georgia Kyla looking to close the deal. I don't want to say brought to you by our friends at Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth Premium Realty, Robin Stressman Associates. Here comes a liner towards third. Not an easy throw over to first, but they will get the ground out to shortstop. First time that they've gotten Borodicek to go down again. The first 2 times up, she had 5 RBI. Due up in the 4th inning for the Oiler girls, it'll be Emily Moore, Amelia Couturier, and Marilyn Powell. Due up before Bay City Central, it's Mariah Lopez and Kylie Pippins. Back with more Oiler girls softball on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, live from our Barbary Law studios right after this.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it all on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Oiler girls lead at 10-1, but you could argue this is a game closer than that score because Bay City Central has left the bases loaded 2 different times. Yeah. He had a few runs. Even a 10-4 game sounds a lot different than a 10-1 game, but it could easily be 10-5, 10-6, 10-7 right now. It's been a great job by Couturier in the circle, battling out of a couple difficult situations in the first inning and in the third inning. She essentially got a 1-2-3 inning in the second. She hit a batter. They ultimately got out trying to steal, and then it was a pair of strikeouts to Lopez and Pippins, who find themselves back at the plate here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-1 count to Lopez. Here comes pitch number 3 of the at-bat. This one's going to be pop foul off the screen. Almost a chance for Moore to catch it off the screen. It wouldn't count for an out, but it'd be kind of a fun game. 1-2 the count. On top of the 4th inning, Oiler girls lead at 10-1 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. That one's over for a punch-out. Make it 6. Sent down from Couturier without needing any help behind her. That'll bring up Kylie Pippins, who went down on strikes. She ran the count full, also fouled one off, and so it took 8 pitches to get, or 7 pitches, pardon me, to get Kylie Pippins, but she eventually went down on strikes. 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3 for Miss Couturier in the circle. First one's going to miss high. 10-1, Oiler girls in front. 1 run coming in that 3rd inning for Bay City Central. It was Taylor Jojo who singled, eventually came around to score. Next pitch over for a strike, 1-1. Now the count for Couturier. This one's going to be popped out towards second. Nice play from Carmen Loya. Doesn't really have to dive for it, but almost a dive for it. That's one of those, is that a pop out or a line out? Kind of tough to rule in my box score. We'll go with a pop out to second base. We're back to the top of the order with Callie Kazmarek, who was 2 for 2 on the day. Single the first time up, and then in the third, she had an infield single. Hitting from the left side, 10-1 the score. So if you're Bay City Central, the Oilers have scored at least 1 run in every inning. They get 1 in the bottom of the 4th. You're down to your final 3 outs via that 10-run mercy rule through 5 innings. First pitch is going to be fouled off for Kazmarek. Count 0-1. As I mentioned, Kazmarek 2 for 2 on the day. A pair of singles, 1 an infield single. That one's going to miss 1-1 the count. So Chris Bachman with you, Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Top of the 4th inning, Mount Pleasant Oiler girls softball. They lead it 10-1 against Bay City Central. That one's just going to miss outside. Moore tried to frame it. Couldn't quite hang on. Stepping back in is Kazmarek. Waving the pink bat over the back shoulder, batting from the left side. That one's also going to be low, 3-1, and now the count to Kazmarek. Pitcher Georgia Kiley is on deck. She's technically 0 for 1 on the day. She walked in the first inning and was stranded, and in the third she hit into a double play. That's going to be ball 4. Kiley on base with her second walk of the day. Or pardon me, that's Kazmarek on base with the walk. Georgia Kiley now stepping to the plate. If you're Bay City Central, got to get a run or 2 here in this inning. You don't want to head into that bottom of the 4th. The other girls only needing 1 run to put you in a mercy situation. This one fouled off the backstop and almost made me flinch. It's kind of coming right in this direction. 0-1 now the count to Kiley. Credit to Kazmarek down there at first base. She's been at the plate 3 times. She has reached base all 3 times for Bay City Central. Here comes the 0-1. Pulling the string on that one was Couturier. Kiley way out in front, but still got a piece of it to foul it off. 0-2 the count. 2 outs. Runner at first base, top of the 4th inning. Oiler girls lead it 10-1. Couturier has been in control. She has struck out 6. Would love to get number 7 right here. It'll be hit down the third baseline. Foul. We'll do the 0-2 again. The grass is starting to grow in the Mid-Michigan area. Think about my friends. Jared Martinez at Martinez Lawn Care. Buddy Thomas McCann at Boomers Lawn Care. The yard taken care of. Those are the guys to go to. 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. He'll be fouled down the first baseline. This little battle here from Georgia Kiley. 0-2 count, but she's now fouled off a couple. This will be pitch number 5 of the at-bat upcoming. Runner at first base, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning. Oiler girls lead it 10-1. Here comes the 0-2. That one's going to bounce up there. I don't mind the idea, though, from Couturier. So Kiley's been able to foul off everything. Try and throw her something in the dirt, see if she just takes a crack at it. She doesn't. Here comes the next pitch on the 1-2. That's a swing and a miss. Strike out number 7 for Miss Amelia Couturier. She is just dominating on the mound. And again, another runner left on base for Bay City Central. They have now left 7 on base. They trail by 9. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Emily Moore, Amelia Couturier, and Marilyn Powell due up for the Oiler girls here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more Oiler girls. So, well, you know what? We're going to keep it right here. We'll send it out to a commercial break after this next half inning. The Oiler girls lead it 10-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Big shout out to our friends. Again, you see those title sponsors' names on the screen. Those are the people paying the big bucks to make it possible for me to bring you about, we go over 100 ball games again this year. Probably looking at 70, 80 podcasts again this year. But a big shout out. Joe Barberry, Dave Barberry, and the crew at Barberry Law. Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Open House coming up May 1st through the 3rd. Weefrich Financial, sponsor the Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game. And also much love, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. Back out in the circle is Georgia Kiley. She hasn't been bad today. You're going to give up some runs against this Mount Pleasant Oilers squad. You just need to get a little bit more help offensively if you're Kylie out there. The Oiler girls scored 4 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third. The leadoff spot was Haley McIntyre. Well, it was McKenna Bowman that led off the second and the third inning, but your number one hitter, Haley McIntyre, it eventually became Izzy Davis, is 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored on the day. But our Zaid Batchelor baller of the game, our Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, right now it's all about Lexi Barodachuk. 2 for 3 on the day with a home run, a triple, 2 runs scored, and 5 RBI. Whew. Bottom of the fourth inning. Here we go. Emily Moore stepping up to the plate. That one's going to bounce up there for the catcher. She'll take it. Moore popped out to the pitcher her first time up. An RBI single her second time up. 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Smashed this one into the ground. Good pitch there by Georgia Kylie. Count now 1-1. Oiler girls lead it 10-1. Here at Ted McIntyre Field on the campus of Mount Pleasant, where you find our Barberry Law Studios today. Just over across the way is Carlo Barberry Field at Mount Pleasant High School, home of the Mount Pleasant Oiler baseball team. And one's going to go over the head of Taylor J-Jo behind the plate. 2-1 now the count to Emily Moore. Catcher wearing number 18 steps back in, batting on the right side. Oiler girls out there, they're all navy blue. Cursive writing across the chest, the gold numbers. Wolves out there in the purple and white pinstripes. The purple and gold Wolves across the chest. That one's going to miss. 3-1 now the count to Emily Moore. Amelia Couturier on deck. Kylie's got the sign, winds and deals on the 3-1. That's going to miss. It'll be a leadoff walk for Emily Moore. See if we have the pinch runner coming in for the catcher here. Her second time on base in 3 plate appearances. Fantastic job by her. She will stay out there to run since there is nobody out. That'll bring Couturier to the plate. She's 1 for 2 on the day, but the more important work that she has done is in the circle for the Oiler girls. She has struck out 7 and only given up that 1 run through 4. That one's going to miss high, 1-0 the count. On deck is Marilyn Powell. She's 0 for 2 on the day, but her first out was a line out to third base. It was just a fantastic play down the third baseline. Big cut that time. Swinging through it was Couturier. Couturier looking for a home run blast like we saw from Barodachuk earlier this game. Lexi Barodachuk, that is. 1-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Oiler girls lead it 10-1. Nobody out, runner on first base. This one's going to be pop foul. 1-2 now the count to Couturier. It does look like we could have another hitter coming in. It's like we might have Morgan Carr coming up to hit for Marilyn Powell after this at bat. And when you're Coach John Davis, when you get up on a team, 8-9 runs, you do want to get all those players in. Here comes a rope out to right center field. It will be down, not trying to take that extra base out there, is going to be Couturier. She'll hold up at first. Moving up to third base, though, is Emily Moore. And we've got 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Stepping to the plate is going to be Miss Morgan Carr. Hard for me not to say Lakin Carr. Figure out that's younger sister, cousin, or something like that. But new hitter up for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls with runners on the corners here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Our score, Mount Pleasant 10, Bay City Central 1. They get that run in from third base. You're in mercy territory in the top of the fifth inning if you're Bay City Central. It was way outside, but Carr still needs a couple of those practice swings. She does take the practice swing there, 0-1 the count. Carr steps out, takes a big swing. Kylie back in the circle, looking towards the dugout. Get the sign from Coach. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to be on the high part of the zone for strike 2 to Morgan Carr. As I look on deck, it does look like McKenna Bowman is remaining on deck for the Oiler girls. That one's going to get away. Actually, they're going to say it hit the batter. So that'll load up the bases for the aforementioned McKenna Bowman. Talk about Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff, Premium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, our sponsor of Closing the Deal. If you're trying to buy or sell a home and can't close the deal, well, it's because you're not going with Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff, Premium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Bowman could not necessarily close the deal here, but again, she gets one run across. You only need 3 outs to end this game in 5 innings, so somewhat closing the deal. And here is that drive to the outfield. It'll bring in 1. It'll bring in 2 runs. Holding at second base is going to be Morgan Carr, but it's a 2 RBI single for Miss McKenna Bowman. Coming around to score is Emily Moore and Amelia Couturier, and she may have had a pinch runner in for her, but now at second is Morgan Carr. At first with the 2 RBI double is McKenna Bowman. Back to the top of the order in Izzy Davis, and it's now 12-1 Mount Pleasant Oilers in front. We could have a pitching change here coming for Bay City Centrals. We got kind of a meeting of the minds in the circle, and we'll see if there is a pitching change. If there is, we'll send it out to a nice little commercial break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 12-1 Oiler girls in front after the 2 RBI single moments ago from McKenna Bowman. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning as well. And so if you're Bay City Central, your situation now in the top of the 5th inning is you need at least 2 runs to keep this game going. That's without giving up anything else. And you've got runners on first and second. And you're back to the top of the, well, kind of the top of the order for the Oiler girls. Haley McIntyre led off the game going 2 for 2. Izzy Davis came in for her. She went 1 for 1. All 3 times the number 1 hitter, the leadoff hitter, not necessarily in order of the inning, has been at the plate. Whether it's been McIntyre or Davis, they have singled and came around to score. 12-1 to count. Runners at first and second for Mount Pleasant. Still nobody out. Here comes a drive out towards center field. It's going to be caught in center. Nice play from Matthews out there. It's a fly out to center field from Izzy Davis, but still a nice piece of hitting there as she drove it. Just didn't find any empty green grass out there. Carmen Loya now stepping up to the dish. She's technically 1 for 2 on the day. Run scored and a walk, RBI as well. 12-1 the score. Bottom of the 4th inning. Runners at first and second for Carmen Loya. The number 2 hitter plays second base for the Oiler girls. Takes a big cut at that one. Now imagine if you're Loya in this situation. You know it's 3 outs away from winning the game. If I'm her, I'm probably getting a little bit more aggressive here, maybe swinging towards the fence. Here comes the pitch. She does rope this one to the outfield. It's going to be a base hit. We'll see if they send Carr home. They will send her. Here comes the throw to third. Sliding in safely is Bowman. And a heads-up play as Loya gets into second. The RBI double. Pair of RBI in her last 2 at-bats now. Coming in to score is Morgan Carr. At third base now is McKenna Bowman. Stepping to the dish is going to be Mika Prout. She singled when she came in the 3rd inning for Gillespie, ended up being stranded at third base. Yeah, we got 1 out. Prout stepping up to the dish. So yeah, the only out, fly out to center field from Izzy Davis moments ago. 13-1 Oiler girls in front. Prout's going to pop this one up. Not an easy play. It's going to drop. And Prout hustled down to first base, so it's going to be the second single in 2 innings for Mika Prout. That's why you always hustle down the first baseline. Sometimes that ball is going to drop. It did there for Prout. Here comes Morgan Borodachuk. First inning, she had a sacrifice RBI. Second inning, she had an RBI double and came around to score. Third inning, she walked, stole a base, and was ultimately stranded. 13-1 the score. Bases loaded, full of Oilers. Morgan Borodachuk at the plate. I did see freshman Morgan Borodachuk with a grand slam last year. As I mentioned, that 7 spot put up. The Oilers threatening that now. This one is drilled out towards right center field. Both players coming in. Neither one of them will come up with it. One run is in. A second run coming around to score for the Oiler girls. It'll be the deepest single Morgan Borodachuk will probably ever have, but it drives in 2 runs. So 2 RBI single for Borodachuk. And this game now threatening of ending here in the 4th inning if one more run can come across. Bowman came in to score. Loya came in to score. Prout now at second. At first is Borodachuk. Emily Moore with a chance to end, Lexi Borodachuk with a chance to end this game here. First pitch is going to be inside for a strike. Emily Moore is on deck. The other girls will have batted around as she comes up, but right now the game could end here at the plate. Borodachuk is able to drive in that run from second. That one's going to miss inside. 1-1 now the count to Lexi Borodachuk. Borodachuk already had 5 RBI on the day. Why not make it 6 and end this game here in 4 innings? Here comes the pitch from Kylie. That's going to bounce up there. Mika Prout dancing away. Again, J-Jo behind the plate. She has kept a lot of bouncers in front of her. She's been fantastic for Bay City Central behind the dish. 15-1. Oiler girls in front, trying to end it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. This one's roped out towards left field. It's going to get over the fielder's head. Rounding third, coming in to score the game-winning run is going to be Mika Prout. Woo, doggy. A 7 spot here in the 4th inning is going to end this one 16-1. The Oiler girls in absolutely dominating fashion take game 1 via the mercy in 4. And I didn't think it was going to end like that, but an RBI game ender there, a walk-off for Miss Lexi Borodachuk. Talk about closing the deal, brought to you by Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman, and Associates. The Oiler girls needed 7 to end this game in 4. They did, and they still got 2 outs to play with in the 4th inning. What a performance from the Oiler girls. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to head on into our Bird All-American Girl postgame show on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. What a fantastic game from the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls as they win it 16-1 in 4 innings over Bay City Central. They still got one more game, but we're going to come back and wrap things up with our coverage here today. The Oiler girls, a 16-1 winner. We'll be back to put a bow on this one right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Mike Stanton, and I'm honored to represent the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund, created to honor Marilyn's legacy of generosity, compassion, and commitment to our community. At its core, our mission is simple: to support our youth, remove barriers, and create opportunities for kids to grow, compete, and succeed, both in their community and in the game of life. We are incredibly excited to support the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. They do an outstanding job highlighting student athletes, local schools, and the power of teamwork, shining a light on the hard work and dedication that is often overlooked. This partnership allows us to celebrate not just wins on the field, but character and leadership along the way. At the end of the day, it's about investing in our youth, strengthening our communities, and carrying forward Maryland's spirit of giving. To learn more about the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund and the events we support, find us on Facebook by searching Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund. Go Blue Jays.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher Day or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Malley Construction in Mount Pleasant are experts in residential and commercial construction. From poured walls, flat work, pipe work, and road work, Malley Construction does it all. And they are Michigan Department of Transportation pre-qualified. Malley Construction is family-owned and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Thanks to coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. 989-620-6595. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant. Hiring a cleaning service doesn't mean you're lazy. Martinez Cleaning knows it means you value your time and want to come home and relax and not worry about the mess. Martinez Cleaning allows you to do just that. Come home and relax to a nice clean home. Schedule your appointment and learn more by visiting Martinez Cleaning on Facebook or call today at 989-289-8615.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it in our Barberry Law Studios and our Burt All-American Grill post-game show as we put a bow on this one. Lots to think about. Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game. Zaid Batcheller baller of the game brought to you by Weefridge Financial. We didn't really have much of a Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist to the game in this one. Actually, you could say the throw from out in right field from Miss Powell to get a big out after they tried throwing out the runner at first base. She was able to get him at second. That could be our assist of the game there, coming in the outfield from Miss Powell. But our Zaid Batcheller baller of the game brought to you by Weefridge Financial, our Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game, our J&J Auto collision report. Well, again, Weefridge Financial, Zaid Batcheller baller of the game. Miss Lexi Barodachuk, you heard me talk about it throughout the game. Here is what she did. Her first plate appearance in the first inning. She hit a 3-run home run. Her second plate appearance in the second inning, she hit a 2 RBI triple. She did ground out to short to end the third inning, but then in the fourth inning, she ended the game with an RBI single. Probably could have been a double if the game was to continue going. So her stats on the day, Alexia Barodachuk, 3 for 4 at the dish with a home run, a triple, and a single to go with 6 RBI. That's getting it done for the sophomore. Yeah, just the sophomore, Lexi Barodachuk. Big congratulations, Coach Davis and the crew, and also Georgia Kiley, Taylor J. Joe at the plate behind this. They did a pretty darn good job as well for Bay City Central. It was just a powerful lineup for the Mount Pleasant Oiler girls who really came to hit here today. Chris Bachman sign off on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Will we have a game tomorrow? Will we have a game Thursday? Hopefully Thursday we have got the Shepherd boys taking on the Clare boys in Clare, but as you know, everything is weather permitted here in the early going of the baseball softball season. Next couple weeks we'll start to do some updates, what teams' records are, where they're going to be playing, but trying to put out a schedule for the week right now was like trying to make plans when you got a 2-year-old. You just never know what is going to happen. 16-1 our final. The Oiler girls score 4 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third, and then a 7th spot to end it in the bottom of the 4th inning via a walk-off RBI from Miss Lexi Barodachuk, who had a home run, a triple, a single, and 6 RBI, going 3 for 4 at the plate. Woo! What a game for Lexi Barodachuk. Chris Bachman sign off on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. As I said, I could be back with you baseball, softball tomorrow. I could be back with you baseball, softball on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just all depends on the weather right now. Oh, I cannot wait till May when we know not just going to be the rain, maybe not even the cold, because who knows? Could have 30 degrees in a couple days as well here in mid-Michigan. The Oiler girls victorious 16-1. Our Zaid Batcheller, Weefridge Financial baller of the game, Miss Lexia Barodachuk going 3 for 4 with 6 RBI.